In
today's digital landscape, a high-production internet video can seamlessly blend objective facts with subjective storytelling. When the editing is slick and the tone is authoritative, it becomes incredibly difficult for a casual viewer to separate the data from the spin. Take the recent viral video by political commentator Dhruv Rathee. The subject is the new film Dhurandhar, which the video aggressively frames as a piece of brainwashing propaganda. The core assertions are straightforward. The movie operates as a massive political advertisement for the BJP, and it deliberately falsifies history to manipulate the public. If we strip away the confident delivery, the background music, and the rhetoric of this fact-check, does the argument actually hold up to its own rigid standards? To find the truth, we have to look past the volume of the argument and examine the structural logic of how this narrative is actually built. This diagram illustrates the priming effect. Before presenting any evidence, the YouTuber labels the film's director a scoundrel. By planting this attack immediately, the viewer's brain is forced into a hostile frame, viewing every subsequent choice through a lens of suspicion. This early framing supports the tactical use of the word gaslighting later in the video. Deploying a heavy psychological buzzword against opposing viewpoints is a highly effective way to shut down debate before it even begins. Starting a supposedly fact-based critique with personal insults and absolutes is a deliberate technique to dictate the audience's emotional baseline. The video points to online endorsements from politicians, like Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, as hard evidence that the film is a political ad. Political parties globally co-opt pop culture and mainstream films for their own marketing. A political entity utilizing a film's momentum online does not retroactively rewrite the original intent of the filmmakers. The critique then claims the film is a film of lies because it alters historical details. This highlights a clear distinction. A strict factual documentary is judged by a different metric than a dramatized film inspired by real events. Compressing historical timelines, merging real-life figures, or having villains praise heroes to raise the dramatic stakes are standard industry norms required for compelling storytelling. The YouTuber dismisses the film's opening text as a legal cheat code. In reality, defamation disclaimers are a mandatory legal requirement for historical fiction in almost every jurisdiction in the world. Judging standard cinematic dramatization by the rigid, literal standards of a historical text manufactures outrage where none should exist. The most aggressive economic claim centers on demonetization. The video uses Reserve Bank of India data to declare the film's entire depiction a fabrication. The specific statistic cited is that roughly 99.3% of the demonetized 500 and 1,000 rupee notes were eventually returned to the banking system. This diagram illustrates the logical gap in the argument. The RBI data shows a strict, quantifiable result, while the film dramatizes a possible cause. The overall impact of demonetization remains a fiercely debated topic among global economists today. The exact same omission tactic appears in the claims about NGO funding. The video highlights government crackdowns on specific civil society groups, leaving out the context that organizations across the entire ideological spectrum receive bilateral foreign funding. Taking massive, gray area macroeconomic policies and intentionally flattening them into binary true or false statements is a highly effective tool for narrative manipulation. The YouTuber set out to expose a film for relying on selective facts, emotional framing, and a clear narrative push. Yet, the video dismantling the film relies on those exact same three ingredients to build its own case. Audiences today are highly conditioned to be skeptical of politicians and massive film studios, but they often drop their guard entirely for confident, well-edited internet commentators speaking directly to a camera. The best defense against manipulation remains a refusal to blindly trust any single medium. Consume everything, extract a raw data, and rely on the one tool that resists any algorithm, an independent capacity to think.